Hello everyone, I'm Harry, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do another how to sound like video. This time we're going to try and get the tones on my top 5 Arctic Monkeys riffs/songs. So before we get started, if you like this sound like video at any point, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification for me as well. It really does help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. There's going to be affiliate links down in the description to every piece of gear I used in this video and to record my videos. These do help support the channel out further, so I'd really appreciate you going and check them out. So the main reason why I decided to do this, throughout their career, post the first album, so the second onwards, Jamie and Alex kind of used a lot of Vox style amps. So like Jamie's used the Bagcat, Alex's used the old Selma things, which are very much Vox flavored, kind of like boutique and vintage Vox style amps. So I recently got sent the Mako series ACS1 from Walrus Audio, which is basically an amp and cab simulator, and you have like a Marshall style amp in there, Vox style amp and a Fender style amp. And because I don't actually own a Vox style amp, I thought it'd be really killer to use this. So we're not using any amp, it's just into the pedal, into the recording interface, and the amp simulation and cabinet speaker simulation is done in the pedal. I recently did a full demo of the ACS1, so if you'd like to see that, there'll be a link up in the cards in the description and pinned in the comments. I'm not usually a big fan of these kind of modeling pedals where you completely replace an amp, but I was actually quite impressed by this, and you'll see how good it really does sound and how it really reacts like an amp with different pedals and guitars throughout this video. So that's the basic premise of this video, so let's get into the first one. So the first one's obviously Are You Mine? So really classic Arctic Monkeys tune, really simple. I just had the Vox style amp on the ACS1 with a Vox style cab with greenback speakers. Then all I was doing was running a fuzz face style pedal into it, just like they did on the original recording. And for that I was using the Fuzz Rangers by Formula B. Now, it's pretty much exactly the same time for both Jamie and Alex's parts. Alex is using his Gretsch jet, so that's why I'm using that. And to nail Jamie's parts, you'd use pretty much the exact setting, but with a Gibson SG with humbuckers. So I'll quickly show you what the ACS1 amp sounds like by itself with the Vox amp and Vox greenback cab, and then I'll kick on the Fuzz Rangers so you can hear what the fuzz is doing to the tone. So that was Are You Mine? So now let's get into the next one. So for this, I was using an octave pedal to kind of replicate that 12-string tone. I had exactly the same settings on the ACS1, so we were in the Vox style amp with a Vox style greenback cab. I was using the IC5 by Boss to give us that upper octave to really get close to a 12-string sound. And then for the little distortion, I was using the Guerrilla Warfare Mark II by Greer Amps. So that's for Alex's parts. I was just using the jet because I thought that would be the closest to that weird Vox guitar that he plays. So for Jamie's parts, it's a little bit cleaner, obviously no octave effect, and there's a subtle tremolo on, just add a little bit of movement as well. So I'll quickly play that part on the SG. So there there you go, really simple, just the SG on the bridge pickup. Again, the ACS1 giving us that Vox amp with Vox greenback tone. Then I had the Lightspeed instead of the distortion because it's quite clean compared to the other part. And then I had a little bit of tremolo coming from the Walrus Audio and Monument version 2. So let's get into the next one. Okay, so that was obviously BRIANSTORM, so I decided to use my Macmull S-Classic to try and get close to Alex's Fender Bronco tone. For this, again, it was that Vox style amp in the ACS1, set quite clean with the Vox greenback cab. Now, I had the Lightspeed engaged throughout the whole thing to give us kind of our bass drive tone, and then for the heavier parts, it's just the Guerrilla Warfare, which is a rat-style distortion running into the Lightspeed, then into the ACS1. When we get to the verse chords, where I kick off the Guerrilla Warfare and it's just the Lightspeed by itself. So really self-explanatory there, really simple, but some really great tones and parts throughout. So let's get into the next one. Okay, so that was Alex's parts for Fluorescent and Adolescent. We are going to look at Jamie's parts as well, which uses a bit more effects. This one's really simple. Again, the Macmull S-Classic to try and give me that Fender Bronco tone. And this is just straight into the ACS1, no pedals. So you got it kind of clean, / tiny bit of break. It's got that classic Vox slim bottom ends with quite a jangly tone. And I thought it really got close. So now let's quickly look at Jamie's parts as well. So there we go, that was Jamie's parts for Fluorescent Adolescent. So again, all the Vox tones coming from the ACS1. Now I had the Lightspeed for that little bit of overdrive, and to really get this sound right, Jamie seems to use quite a lot of subtle tremolo just to give a bit of movement, and it really gives you that kind of beefy tone. It's really weird. So again, for the tremolo, I was using the Monument version 2. That's the main thing. Then when you get to the big chords, I kick off the tremolo. And then, of course, for the little lead fills that come in, I'm actually using the Big Spender spinning speaker simulator from Danelectro to give us that kind of Hughes and Kettner rotosphere tone. This was used a lot throughout like the first 3 albums, mainly. A little bits here and there since, but I definitely hear it most on those albums. So let's get into the next one. Okay, so that was Jamie's parts for Crying Lightning. Some really cool lead fills throughout and rhythm parts as well. We are going to look at Alex's parts in a second. For this, again, the ACS one giving us that Vox style amp and cab. Now I had the Greer amps Lightspeed for a little bit of drive, running into the Big Spender by Danelectro to give us that spinning speaker tone again for modulation. And then I was using the R1 Mako series from Walrus Audio to give us a nice spring reverb tone as well that's quite wet and really comes in handy for them. When we get to like the chorus parts, then I'm kicking off the reverb and Big Spender and it's just the Lightspeed into the ACS one. And then for the lead slides that come back in, again, you engage that reverb and spinning speaker simulator. So now we'll look at Alex's parts. So there you go, that was Alex's parts, really simple, Vox style amp coming from the ACS one again, and then just a Greer amp Lightspeed, and the main key to this is getting that Jazzmaster bright jangly tone. For the solo, you would just go to the neck pickup and kick on a fuzz like the Fuzz Rangers by Formula B pedals, kind of like a fuzz face style fuzz. So now let's get into the last one. So that, of course, was 4 out of 5. Definitely the best song of their latest album. So again, using a cleanish amp from the ACS one, the Vox AC30 style with the Vox Greenback. I had a nice spring reverb coming from the R1 Mako series by Walrus Audio as well. And then again, it was the Greer amp Lightspeed giving us that really slight overdrive. That's the tone I'd use throughout the whole song, and then the only part that would change is when it goes to the fuzz tone. For that, it's a really spitty, kind of thin-sounding fuzz, so I decided to use the Fuzz Bender by Keeley Electronics, because you have the bias control to get that really spitty tone and a really powerful EQ section as well. So there we have it. That was a look at how to sound like my top 5 Arctic Monkeys riffs and songs, spanning pretty much the whole discography and having some really killer tones throughout. Like I said, the saving grace for this, because I don't own a Vox AC30 style amp, and considering Alex and Jamie use boutique Vox AC30 style amps a lot, the ACS one really came in handy to give me my amp tone and cabinet tone. Like I said, you don't even need an amp to use this thing. You can use it with headphones if you just want to play at home, or you can record into an interface with it like I'm doing. Usually I'm not a massive fan of modeling things, but it's a really killer unit and I really do recommend to go and try one out. Again, I recently did a full demo of the ACS1 Mako series, so if you'd like to see that, there'll be a link up in the cards, in the description, and pinned in the comments. And then of course all the different effects we use, the Lightspeed for a nice little bit of overdrive, the Guerrilla Warfare for that rat style distortion, the Monument version 2 for some tremolo, the Big Spender for some spinning speaker rotosphere type tones, the R1 Mako series for our little reverb tones, the Fuzz Rangers for that classic fuzz face style fuzz, and then the Fuzz Bender for that more spitty, thin sounding fuzz that we hear on 4 out of 5. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of this sound like and how close you thought I got to the original songs. If you did like this sound like video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification for me as well. It really does help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Again, there's going to be affiliate links down in the description to all the gear I used in this video and to record my videos. These do help support the channel out further, so I really appreciate if you go and check them out. Other than that, go onto my channel, check out some of my playlists. I have plenty more lessons, covers, gear demos, how to sound like videos, and anything guitar related. As always, I've been Harry, and thanks for watching.